Welcome to Elemental Yoga. Today we are going to do the air element, focusing on central and governing meridians. And so it's not one of the classic 5 elements that we've been focusing on. We haven't really addressed this one yet. But air is the element that kind of flows around all of the other meridians and supports them. And the central meridian goes from the perineum in the front all the way up the center. So if you want to trace it, we're just coming up over the neck and then to the lower lip. So we're going to do that 3 times, tracing the central. And this is also known as the zip up. So I do this before I see clients, just kind of getting your energy contained. And then the governing goes from the tailbone. And you're just going to kind of go up as far as you can. And then I usually take it like I'm pulling up and over to the upper lip. So we'll just trace 3 times up the governing meridian. And so these are the only meridians that are on the center line of the body. So it just divides us completely in half. And they are what's known as the home to all the other meridians. So central is the home to all of the yin or the internal meridians, and governing is the yang, the house of the yang. So they have different energies, but basically they store energy for you to use later, and they're responsible for just kind of regulating the intake and outflow of energy. And so we'll start seated. And hands on the knees. And we're really just going to focus on balance today and bringing in any energy we need and letting go of anything that no longer serves us. So starting with your eyes closed, take a few breaths, noticing any energy that's present in your body right now. Anything that feels overactive, anything that feels lethargic. And we're just going to try to breathe into the entire body. So just imagine the breath, the air flowing and balancing out the energy, moving anything that's stagnant, calming anything that's activated. And we'll take what I call a box breath. So you're going to inhale for as long as you want to. So as long as it feels good, and just count how long that is. And then you're going to hold for that same count. So it may be around 6 or so, 5, 6, 7. And then you exhale for that same count. And then you hold it out. You'll continue on the inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And just breathe normally. See, again, scanning the body, seeing what's present. And we're going to start practice with a hum. So bring your hands together at your heart. And inhale. And on the exhale, we hum together. And bringing your hands back down to your knees. You can keep your eyes closed if you want, just kind of swaying side to side. So loosening up the spine. And keep the breath a little bit deeper, a little bit more active. So if you want to turn on the ujjayi breath, you create a little whispering sound at the back of the throat as you breathe in and out. And then if you want to start to circle a little bit and move the rib cage around. And just explore, being gentle, and just seeing what's there. So just a noticing of what you're holding on to or what you haven't noticed you're holding on to. Change direction. No need to change or force things, working your body with what's happening because we're just getting started. And then we'll come back to center and bring ourselves into a cat-cow. So lift, imagine that central vessel as you lift up the chin and chest, imagine the energy moving up. And then tuck the tailbone, and as you round the spine, visualize going up the governing meridian. And then as you inhale, coming up through central, lifting up through the chin. Exhale, round, really push back as you round through the governing. And continue this following the inhale and exhale for just a couple rounds. We're kind of taking it easier today. More restorative practice. And then come back to center and just take a moment to relax and into the energy you've created. So taking a deep breath in and out, just kind of letting that settle. And we'll take our left knee into the hands, interlace the hands in front, and circle the foot around, activating the joints, the ankle, the toes. You can change directions. And then just letting the knee rest into the hands, we'll start to circle using our arms. So letting the arms do the work and the hip relax. So the joint, the hip bone can move around in the hip joint. Good, and change directions. So we're bringing a little bit of hydration into this joint. Letting the flow of nourishment into the tissues of the hip. And then bring the knee back up to center. Give it a squeeze up to the chest. Lift the chest. And just take a deep breath into your belly. And exhale through the mouth. One more inhale. And exhale. And then we'll release this leg down and grab the right knee. Interlace the hands the opposite way. Circle the foot around. both directions, waking up the joints. And then letting the knee rest in the hands, really focus in on relaxing all the muscles of the hip and the leg. Start to circle the knee around. And you instinctively try to use some muscles, so keep trying to relax the leg and just let the arms do the work. Change directions. And then we'll bring the knee up towards the chest. You can squeeze it in if you want to hug the knee. Lift the chest. This is called wind releasing pose. So we're going to inhale into the low belly, letting the belly push against the leg. Exhale through the mouth. Letting go of any old stuff. Inhale. And exhale. Good, and we'll release that down. And take your palms up, elbows in by the side. We'll just start to circle the shoulders up and back. And then as you circle up and back, you may want to squeeze the elbows back a little and feel how that gets into the lower range of the shoulder blades. That was so sweet. We had a sweet moment in class. And then start to push the thumbs back as you do it, really getting into stretching out the chest a little more. It's getting into different areas, like we're assessing what our shoulders are holding. Good. And then release. And we'll take the right hand underneath the hips, and we're going to sit on the hand. Little compression here, and then lean away. So lean your left ear towards the left shoulder. And maybe lift the chin a little bit if you want to get the front of the neck area, or let the chin come down to the chest. And release that. And we're going to take our hands and grab the index finger. So palm up, grab the index finger and pull it down. And then get the middle finger and just, you can straighten the arm if that feels better. I like to keep my elbow bent. Unsquish the hand that we sat on. Get the ring finger, pull that one down. Pinky. And thumb. And then release the hand back down and close your eyes. Just take a moment. Deep breath in and out. We'll take the other hand, the left hand underneath the hips when you're ready. And lean the right ear towards the right shoulder. And the chin can slightly lift if that feels good, or lower, depending on where you want to find your stretch today. And then release. I could have stayed there for a lot longer, sorry. Bring the palm forward, grab the index and just pull it down. Widen the thumb and the pinky finger from each other, so kind of broaden the palm of the hand a bit. And then go to the middle finger. the ring finger, the pinky, and the thumb. And then release. Arms by your side. Inhale, lift the arms up high. Exhale, fingertips touch, and you're just going to let the palms come down slowly in the front of the body. We're going pretty slow today. Inhale, when you're ready, lift. Gather the energy around you, the air. Exhale, let it all settle through the body. Almost like you're bringing it in. One more, inhale. And also you could be like, pushing out the energy that you no longer need, like a coffee press, letting it all settle down and out. And then we'll come to standing, but take the chair and you're going to face the seat of the chair. Make sure I have enough room here. So facing the seat of the chair, inhale the arms up, look up, exhale, soften the knees, and you're going to hinge at the hips with the flat back and bring the hands down to the chair, holding onto the seat. Inhale, lift the chest and point the nose forward, lift the hips up and back. And then exhale, bend the knees and just kind of bow your forehead as far down as you can towards the seat. A little rounding of the spine. Inhale, from the pubic bone up to the chin, lift, straighten, and then exhale, round the governing from the tailbone all the way to the nose, round. One more time, inhale, and exhale, round. Now we'll lift back up. Make sure your seat is stable underneath you. Hands press down and give it a little wobble. Make sure it's not going anywhere. And then step your feet back one at a time into a plank position. So you're going to be holding the plank position just for a moment. So you're going to feel the pubic bone kind of pull towards the chest, engage the core, and press the spine up between the shoulder blades a bit. And find your ujjayi breath. So slow, steady breath, a little bit of a whisper to the breath. And then you can start to pivot on the toes, kind of side to side. Just let the heels wiggle a bit side to side. I'm just getting a little warmth going in the core. And then lift up and back to down dog. So you may want to step the feet forward an inch or two. Pull the hips back. Soften the knees. And let the head rest between the arms. Deep breath into the low belly. And exhale. Lengthen the spine. Pull the hips back as if someone is grabbing the bend or the crease in the front of the hips and pulling it back. Feel the spine lengthen. Now you can take your left hand and drop it down towards the right toes. So we're taking a little bit of a twist here. You can bend that right knee a little bit, and grab the back of the calf. Grab the heel. If you lift the heel up and tuck your fingers under the heel. Wherever it feels comfortable, let your head drop down towards the floor. So the crown of the head weighing down. And just breathe into this. Let everything kind of settle and relax. And then slowly release. Come back up. Bring your hand up back to the chair. And we're going to pivot into our plank pose once again. So come forward into plank, holding in your plank. Slowly bring the hips towards the seat of the chair. So you're going to come into upward facing dog. The hips drop down. Start to lift the chest and round the back of the body. Lift the chin maybe. And draw the shoulder blades back on the spine. And then lift up and back. Lift the hips. Widen the feet. Once again to your downward facing dog. Pulling the low belly in. The hara point draws in and activates and lifts the hips up and back. And then you'll take your right hand and cross it over to the left toes, leg, heel, whatever feels comfortable. You can even grab the knee. And you'll start to slowly let the head hang heavy down to the floor. And you'll kind of peek around under the armpit. So turn your nose towards the armpit of the left side. Pull the left hip back a little more. Don't let it come forward. And then gently and slowly soften the knees. Bring the hand back up to the chair. You'll come forward into plank. Stepping your feet back a little more. Engaging in your plank for a breath. And then transition to upward facing dog. So slowly bring the hips forward. Start to roll the chest open and up. Draw the shoulders down and back. And then lifting yourself back up through plank into your downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward now. So bring the left foot towards the chair and bend into that left knee. You can slide the right toes back any amount. And we're in a lunge here, runner's lunge. So bend the knee and draw the inner legs, like squeeze the inner leg muscles together. And then we'll inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest. And then we'll exhale, pull the hips back and bow the forehead towards the chair and straighten the left leg. So pull the left hip back. And then slowly come back into your lunge, bending the left knee, lifting the chest. Inhale. Exhale, draw back. One more inhale, come forward. And exhale, pull back. And then you can stay here, or if you want, you can bring your hands down to the ground, tenting the fingertips on the ground. Just resting in pyramid for a few more breaths. Pulling the right hip forward, drawing the left hip crease back. Engaging the core, engage that central line of the body. Feel more space in the back, the governing. Reach the crown of the head down if it's not smushed against the chair. And then slowly come back up. Walk the hands to the chair. Step forward. And then inhale, the arms rise up. And hands come to heart. So standing with hands at heart. Take a few breaths here. Maybe close your eyes and just kind of notice the difference between the sides. And then we'll bring the hands down. Inhale, arms up high. Look up between the hands, stretch up through the fingertips, and exhale, soften the knees, dive forward, hands to the chair. Step back into your plank pose. Now drop the hips to the chair. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, and exhale, pull back to your downward facing dog. Take a moment, maybe you want to bend one knee and the other. Soften the jaw. And stepping the right foot forward to the chair. You may want to slide the left toes back a bit in your runner's lunge. So kind of squeezing the inner line of the legs together. Lift the chest. Drop the hips down a bit. And then exhale, pull the hips back, straighten the leg. Forehead comes down. Inhale, bend the knee. Slowly lift the chest. Unfurl the center line of the body. Exhale, round. Let the forehead come down. Pull the hips back. One more inhale. Exhale, pull back. And then if you want to bring the hands to the floor, you're going to squeeze the core and allow the spine to elongate. Pull the right hip slightly back. And left hip comes forward. So we're just kind of evening out the hips. Looks great. And gently bending the knee, bring the hands to the chair. Step forward. Inhale, arms rise up. And exhale, hands to heart. So we can step back from the chair for a moment. Arms by your side, mountain pose. Just rock back and forth on the feet. And widen the soles of the feet on the ground. And once you have that engagement in the feet, I just want you to notice in stillness the kind of activation of the muscles of the feet as you kind of grip the ground, and feel the muscles of the legs slightly engage, drawing energy up through the ground, up through the legs. Feeling the belly, the low ribs pull towards the hips a bit to engage the belly and give a little more room for the breath in the back, in the kidney area. And lengthen up through the back of the head. So feel the crown of the head lift. So the central and governing meridians are also related to the crown chakra, where the energy comes in through our bodies. So we're going to do the muscles associated with the central meridian is the supraspinatus. I believe that's the name. Thumbs up if I'm right. And arms come forward and out, palms open, and we're going to just bring the palms towards the pubic bone. So I learned this as the fig leaf position, right? So open and close. This is, you can kind of feel the central vessel as you do this, opening, closing, right? And if you want, you could do one at a time, back and forth. Yep. And then just for good measure, same time, both together, just keep it balanced. And then the governing meridian, I can't think of the word right now. Therese minor, thumbs up or thumbs down, yes. So your right hand's behind you, just on the backs of the hips, and pull the elbows back as far as you can. And try to keep your spine straight, chin down towards the chest, right? So keeping solid weight in the feet, grounding in the legs. And then we can bring the elbows forward and back, like a chicken wing almost, right? And just visualize that line from the tailbone up over the crown of the head, activating as we do this. And if you want, you can do one at a time, alternate. Noticing any difference between the sides. And then both together. And then arms by your side. And just take a deep breath. Feel what's going on in the body. Inhale, bring the arms up high. Look up. And exhale, we're going to just dive forward. Soften the knees. Sweep the floor with the hands. Head hangs heavy. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins. Look forward. Lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees a lot and wiggle the feet wider. And so you'll feel the rib cage on the tops of the legs. Grab opposite elbow with opposite hand and let your head hang down heavy. So this is ragdoll. And we're just going to sort of figure eight the hips. So imagine your hips are drawing a figure eight in the sky above you. And just gently breathing into the low belly against the legs, connecting upper and lower body. And then come to stillness. Let your head hang, shake it. So make sure it's hanging heavy. And release the arms. And slowly roll your way up. Stepping the feet together. Turning the palms forward. And then bring the hands behind the back. Fingertips point down. Thumbs around the hip bone. Squeeze the elbows back. And just gently lift the chest. Lift the chin. Feeling the stretch across the front, up the front of the body. And then release. And one last standing pose. You may want to stand facing your chair, or you may want to, it's a little bit of a balance, but what we're going to do is a figure four. So taking the right knee across, softening the standing left knee, hands to the heart. And you can stay here and feel that nice stretch in the hip. Or you can bend the knees and let the elbows come down. It feels a little nicer. And if you want to let your head and hands come down towards the ground, you can drop your head down, start to slightly straighten the standing leg. Imagine you can tuck your big toe up into the armpit eventually, and the knee behind the other armpit. And I just want you to visualize this one day. We can bring the hands to the ground and do an arm balance here. The peacock pose, lifting the other leg into the air. That's just something to look forward to. So slowly and gently come on back up. I don't know if you could see that, but in your head, I'm not going to demonstrate it because I'm not there today. March it out. But that's a prep for an arm balance where you're on your hands, your leg is crossed, and the other leg goes flying up behind you. All right, so taking the left ankle across the right knee, hands to the heart, and moving slowly. So this can be it for today. You don't have to go any deeper than this. And just feel your hips, where they are, what they need. You may want to rest in a certain place for a few seconds and then keep moving. And if you want to, let the hands come to the floor. Let the head hang. And slowly and gently come on back up. Step the feet together, march it out. I'll do a special workshop to get us into that pose. So come on back to your seat when you're ready. And let your back rest against the chair. And we'll take the right hand, so I'm not mirroring you right now, and bring the index and middle finger up between the eyebrows, center of the forehead. And the thumb is going to block the right nostril and inhale through the left side. Squeeze and hold both nostrils closed. Then lift the thumb to exhale through the right. Inhale through the right side. Squeeze and hold. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Hold. Exhale right. Inhale. Hold. Exhale left. One more round. Inhale. Hold. Exhale right. Inhale. Squeeze and hold. Exhale left. Keep your eyes closed. Let the hand just float down to the lap. Give yourself permission to relax. Starting from the crown of the head, just releasing tension forehead, eyebrows, ears, the jaw and the cheeks. Relaxing the tongue and the throat. Relax the muscles of the neck. Collarbones. Shoulders. Scanning down the arms, letting go of the fingers, wrists and elbows, any tension. Scan the torso, spine, and rib cage. Relaxing organs. Move your awareness through your hips. Thighs. Hamstrings. Relaxing the knees. The lower legs and the shin bones. Relax your ankles. Heels. The plantar side of the foot on the floor. Release the top of the foot. The joints of the toes. Just feel the softness, the release coming up through the pads of the toes. So this state of relaxation is yoga nidra, yoga sleep. Deeply restorative. Feel the breath just gently moving in and out of your totally relaxed body. Bring your hands to your heart, either flat over your heart or palms together, whatever feels good. Deep breath in through the nose, gently out through the mouth. Another in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more in through the nose. Sigh through the mouth. We'll just do one hum together to close practice. Inhale. Hum into all the cells of your body. Thank you so much for joining today, either live or on the recording. I'll see you next week.